Dricus Du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya has a high chance of happening, and I'll tell you why. Because Dricus Du Plessis called out Israel Adesanya after defeating Sean Strickland and becoming middleweight champion. Now, who actually won this fight? Well, let's look at their latest performances, in which Israel Adesanya fought Alex Pereira for the second time, in which both started off very slow, landing many leg kicks in round one. But then Israel Adesanya caught Alex Pereira with two right hooks, which knocked out Alex Pereira.
Dangerous. Oh! Counter right from Adesanya!
After this, he went on to fight Sean Strickland, in which Israel Adesanya got dropped in round one.
Oh!
And when Sean Strickland then put more punishment on Israel Adesanya.
Strickland! Oh! Adesanya in trouble!
After this, Sean Strickland took control of the whole entire fight, outlanding Israel Adesanya, and Sean Strickland won by decision.
And
Now let's talk about Dricus Du Plessis' latest performances, in which he fought Robert Whittaker, in which Dricus Du Plessis landed many big shots in round one and then TKO'd Robert Whittaker in round two.
Whittaker covers up! Do you believe it?
Now after this, we all know just recently he defeated Sean Strickland, in which, in my opinion, I thought it was a complete robbery. Sean Strickland completely outlanded Dricus Du Plessis in almost every single round, and Dricus only had a couple takedowns, but he ultimately won by decision.
Now, this fight needs to be next, and I can almost guarantee you that it will be next, because even the UFC knows the history between these two, as the history between these two goes as far back as UFC 290. When Dricus beat Robert Whittaker, it was said that Israel Adesanya was going to be his next opponent, but that didn't happen, and instead Izzy went on to fight Sean Strickland, in which he lost the belt, and then that's when Dricus obviously got the title shot against Sean Strickland and beat Sean Strickland. So based off this order on who beat who, you would assume that Dricus will beat Israel Adesanya, but that's not true. And here's why: because anything can happen, especially in combat sports, as styles make fights, especially in MMA. So just because Dricus beat the guy who beat Izzy, that doesn't necessarily mean that Dricus might have a good chance at beating Israel Adesanya. But let's say this fight does happen, it won't be an easy fight for Dricus Du Plessis, because Israel Adesanya would have the advantages like height and reach, and on top of the fact that he has amazing kickboxing abilities and he has good cardio. So it's clear that it won't be an easy fight for Dricus Du Plessis. And yes, Dricus Du Plessis has shown that he could go 5 rounds and be dangerous, but at the same time, he has shown signs of lack of cardio in his other fights. But in the end, if this fight does happen, who do I think the winner of this fight will be? Well, I do believe that will be Israel Adesanya, and I'll tell you why. And that is because when Israel Adesanya lost the title to Alex Pereira, he then beat him in the rematch. So it's clear that Israel Adesanya is definitely dangerous in his comeback fights. And like I brought up, he is an amazing kickboxer. So I do believe that if he comes in with his amazing kickboxing abilities, on top of the confidence that he didn't have in the Sean Strickland fight, he will be able to outstrike and outperform Dricus Du Plessis.